What's up, guys? Let me see what's the problem with the season 3 and the lags that you're maybe experiencing it in the game. What are the problems? The problems are mostly the graphics didn't load, slowly loading, you cannot see the inventory. Why you cannot see the inventory? It's all blue, green or gray depending of which weapon you have, and it's not loading, it's not showing which weapon you have in an inventory on your slot even when you go to the inventory tab. So first, let's see what I'm running right now, what kind of settings. Let's go. Nice music. View distance epic, shadows epic, anti-aliasing high, textures effects and post-processing high, VSync off, motion blur on, show FPS off, and DirectX 11. Why I'm this talking? Because I got a i3 processor with 2 cores. I got 8 gigabytes RAM memory and 1 terabyte of HDD hard drive. It's not the SSD, it's just the HDD. It's a slower one. And these settings are the settings that Fortnite and Epic recommended for my PC. What I have installed, what I have done right now, I have bring on a new copy of Windows, a clean one. What I mean when I say a clean one, I don't have anything installed on my PC except of Epic Games, Fortnite and antivirus. All updates for Windows are installed and the antivirus program is updated also. So let's check out first how this is looking right now and how does it work. Let's go to the Team Rumble and loading right now. Sometimes it's a week before it took for half minute or minute to find a server. Maybe it's because of the servers, and maybe it's because I put it on a Windows copy. So reinstalling a Windows, it's not easy and it's not so hard, but I highly recommend it if you have a space and not so much of your favorite files on your hard drive. My hard drive is split on 2 partitions. The C is a system as usual, and on the D, I think it's letter E on mine. Okay, I'm in the game. Respawn Island, we can see the graphics. Oh, let's thank the bus driver first. This is the part of the challenge for the punch cards, and let's land. First, I'm going to land to pick up some weapon, to show the problem, to show the graphics. Is there any problem with the graphic right now? We can go to Misty Meadows. It's not important where you are going. You can see graphic is right now good. It's still good. Okay, we touch the ground. You can see. Okay, this is a small problem. Now it's in. But remember, right now I'm recording. The problem was I couldn't saw what is in my inventory. So I couldn't saw the pistol, I couldn't saw the burst right now, I couldn't saw the grenades or the shield. Everything would be here, only purple, blue and gray, and blue here. So, and it lasts for about a minute, or even I couldn't load it all the graphics. I couldn't hit anything, I couldn't loot, I couldn't do anything. So what you have to do, you have to do some adjustments to your system. Of course, you probably did turn off the anti-aliasing, turn off post-processing, but it doesn't help. What we have to do, very easy, I will show you. If you don't want to reinstall your Windows and run it just on Windows and Epic Games and with the Fortnite in your games, because remember, this one is the gamers PC. Why gamers? not with a specification. It's used for gaming, and I use mostly the PC for gaming and video editing. That's very important. So, what you have to do first, you probably did it, not go to the challenges, go to the settings and lower this down. Lower your shadows, anti-aliasing, textures, effects, and post-processing. And everybody will say, yes, I did it already, and nothing's changed. So let's change it. What to do? Let's check out. So let me see what you want to do right now. You have, while you're in game, right now I turned off my game. I closed my game just for recording and showing, but what you need to do is to minimize your game and turn on the task manager. If you don't know how to put on task manager, it's Control Alt Delete. Just click here task manager and you will get here this window. The other window is on the right click and properties, and you will see the properties. Why I'm showing this? Because I want to show you what is the PC configuration. It's i3 processor, 7100, CPU with 3.90 gigahertz and 8 gigabytes of RAM memory. While you're, I can close this right now. While you're in the game, you will see your GPU rate is very high because the GPU is working. It's the graphic processor unit, and the CPU is your processor unit. Right now, 16% of the total of 60 or 70% of my GPU unit is because I'm recording it right now, as you can see. If you want to see what is eating your GPU, you just click once here, arrow pointing down from the highest to the lowest level, and you will see what applications are consuming your GPU. The memory. Why the memory? The disk will be on 10%, 1%, 5%, it doesn't matter. Just it's reading and writing on your disk. Network speed, it's not a problem for your gaming experience and the lags. The memory, you will probably, if you have 8 gigabytes, have probably on 70, maybe 80%, sometimes even less than 70, maybe 60%, and it's good. So the answer, if you need more memory for running Fortnite, if you have 8 gigabytes, no, you're very good, you're fine and good to go. You can play Fortnite. But the CPU, as you can see, the CPU, press once here and you will see the highest rates from highest to the lowest rates, what is using your CPU. Right now you can see my Streamlab is consuming 23% of my CPU unit. And don't forget, only Windows itself uses 1 to 2% for running when everything is fine. What to do to have only 1 or 2% when only Windows is running? You will hear it right now what to do, but first you can check out your, here would say Fortnite, and the percentage if you're in the lobby would be probably 45 to 50, and if you're in the in-game, it depends of your settings for the game. It can go high from 70 to 80% consuming the CPU. So what happens when the lags hits? When the lags hits, most probably you don't have any spare part of the CPU. Your CPU is running on 99%. What's making it? You said I lower every settings in Fortnite. Well, the other applications working in the background like Nvidia, GeForces, uh, ESET services for antivirus, for example, it's running in the background. What you have to do, you have for the example, as you can see, I will open up my antivirus program and it's in gamer mode. I will deactivate it right now and I'm protected for internet surfing, but if I want just to play the game, I will go to setup, computer protection, and enable gamer mode. If you don't have the gamer mode, you will need to terminate your antivirus program or to pause it. But remember, you're not protected. In gamer mode, you're still protected because it's scanning only your game and it's lower your CPU usage. Next thing, you will probably hear some guys you will see here 20 to 25% of software protection. It will say here software protection and here 20 to 25%. If it's not a big deal if it's 5%, but it's very big deal if you're running on 25%. How to terminate the process? Don't go to end task. It will wake up again. Go to the search button, go to the task schedule, open it up, just a second, open it up, and then here this is the window. Open this up, open this up, and open this up. So scroll down right now to the software protection platform. You will see here SVC restart task, SVC restart task logon, and SVC restart task network. Two of them are disabled and one is ready. This is it, what you need to terminate. This here will say SVC something, and this is going to be 20%. If you have this problem, pick this one and go to delete. You're not going to harm your PC, don't worry. You can just delete all free tasks. They are tasks for checking your software if it is legal or not, and it's still working in the background, but you are just disabling. If you just press disable, you will say I can just press disable. No, it will start again after 1 minute, 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. After the restart of the PC, it will start again. So this can be one of the problem consuming your CPU. Next problem, go here. If you updated the whole Windows, or you are planning to install a fresh copy of the Windows and only Windows, and update all the Windows and update the antivirus, then go to settings. You need to do what you need to do. Let's see. Go first to gaming. Game bar. If you're not using game bar, Windows game bar for recording in game, then turn it off. If you're using NVIDIA Shadow Play or something else for recording, then turn off the game bar. If you're using OBS, you don't need the game bar and you don't need the Shadow GeForce, the NVIDIA GeForce Experience to run in the background. Yes, you will need the drivers, but you don't need the recording application, the screen capturing application. You don't need. Next, captures. Off. Record in the background while I'm playing a game. Off. You don't need it. You don't need to be in the standby regime, the game bar. You don't need it if you're not going to record it, or even if you don't use the game bar from Windows. Game mode, put game mode on. Why? When game mode is on, Windows optimize your PC for play. This is maybe the most important things to set up. Next thing, easy of access. We can go from display to magnifier. If you don't use the magnifier, he will be probably off, but turn everything off you don't need. Narrator, use narrator off. If you don't use it, turn it off. Everything you don't use, turn it off. Everything that you think you're not going to use, or it's not useful for you to be waking up in the background, then just turn it off. Audio settings, turn on mono audio. It's off. You don't want mono audio. Closed captions, it doesn't matter. Everything is by default. And interaction, speech. If you're dictating, it's okay to let it on, but if you're not dictating to your device, to your PC, then turn it off. You don't want to be in a standby regime and waiting for your command to search something on Google or to start an application or whatever you are going to do. Keyboard settings by default it's all off. For example, let's go to the home. We have system sounds and notifications. What we can here see here, notifications and actions. I put it off all the notifications and actions that can wake up any of process in the background. I turn it off. Focus assist off. I don't need it. Storage off. Storage sense off. Power and sleep never and never. That's my choice. I never put on the sleep on power. I shut down my PC when I finished with playing games, but never let him to count the time when he's going to go to sleep or to shut down. Tablet mode. You are using the PC off. Hide apps icons. Yes, on, but it's never on tablet. It's not a tablet mode, it's not a tablet, it's a PC. That's why you have a PC. Multitasking, snap, off. It's for tablet. You're not snapping anything if you don't have a touch screen monitor. Timeline, off. Virtual desktops, only the desktop I'm using right now. Only the desktop I'm using. They are all they're always default settings here. Projecting to this PC? No, I'm not projecting anything. Share across device? Yes, I will share from my phone or other device. It doesn't matter other PC. Clipboard off. The history. You don't need anything to take storage place in your history and to consume your processor power. Remote desktop, it's off. That's the maybe the most important things you need to change on your PC if you didn't do it. Update and security. Windows Update, it's always on. Allow downloads from other PCs? No. Windows settings, everything's fine. Backout, recovery, activation, find my device, everything, nothing here important for the gaming. Privacy, privacy. Go to speech and then online speech recognition off. Inking typing, it can be on, you never know, but put it off if you are not using it. The diagnostics and feedbacks, the basics, and most of them are off because I don't want the CPU usage. Activity history, only storing my activity history on this device, and that's all. Microphone notifications and many things turn on and off on the applications that you will not use. Notifications also on off for every application you are not using. Tasks, same thing. Email, same thing. As you can see, Cortana, mail and calendar only on, people off. If you are updated the Windows, you maybe don't need Cortana. It's almost the same thing like the search button here. So you can put it off and you don't use it. If you're playing games, don't let the background applications like Skype, Messengers, Discord run in the same time while you are playing the game. It will consume your CPU power. You want as lower as you can to get the CPU power. If you start the Chrome, it will consume only for starting 30, almost 30% of your CPU power. For example, let's talk about a little bit about the FPS and the problem with the FPS that everybody wants a bigger and bigger FPS. Yeah, everybody wants a bigger FPS, but let's go and check out the benchmark for some graphic cards. My graphic card is here, GTX 1050 Ti. The recommended settings when you Google the Fortnite official recommended and minimal system requirements, you will see that the GTX 1050 is very good for playing Fortnite, and you should not have any problems. Even GTX 750, because of the the uh, recommended settings are GTX 660 graphic card. So when you compare these two graphic cards, you will see that this one is slightly better, just slightly. It's not the perfect graphic card, remember it. But the most important things here, when you scroll it down, you can see game FPS for Fortnite. Right now, you can see my graphic card can make 76 frames per second. 76. That's why I'm using the default 60 frames per second. I just want to play normal game, not to have lags, not to have any kind of problem. You can confuse your GPU because of unleashing your FPS rate, and you will never get 200. You cannot get 200 of on Fortnite, and that's it. That's the biggest problem. Don't want something that you cannot get. Of course, I have to mention also that I am using the TV instead of the monitor, and my TV rate, refreshing rate is 60 hertz. So 60 FPS on 60 hertz is doing perfectly well. Trust me, perfectly well. You don't need 144 if your card and your PC cannot make it. You need to lower your CPU usage. That's the first one. The memory is fine, and the GPU usage. You have to find the best the best ratio for GPU and CPU usage. Some of people will say, if you go here and type graphic settings, choose here, go to browse, and choose here the Fortnite, only the Fortnite, and add some boost on Fortnite from the GPU. No, Fortnite is a game. This thing here can help you if you're using Excel, Access, or Photoshop, etc. on any other application except of game. Game is using GPU. If you want to boost some application to give more power from a GPU, then use this. But for the gaming experience, no. You want your GPU to calculate the GPU thinks, or whatever you want to call it, and the CPU has to calculate everything that the RAM memory takes. So when the RAM memory takes the input, it's sending it to the CPU. If the CPU doesn't have space, it's hit 100% here. It's going to slow down the game, to slow down the process, to calculate all the processes that the CPU took from the memory, and then when it's calculated, it's sending back and taking another one. And that's how the CPU and the memory are correlated, and they are working. Of course, GPU, memory, and CPU are in correlation. But if the CPU is on 100%, you're stuck, and your game won't render anything for 1 minute. You will experience lag, uh, not loading the graphics, not loading the house, not loading the inventory. Nothing will load. So try to end processes that you don't need here. Don't end tasks them. Just if you need, if you don't need Skype, turn off Skype, close it and turn it off. Not just sign out. Turn it off if you're playing games. When you use Skype, or if when you use any kind of messenger, then turn it on and then use it. You want to play game, you want to have lower CPU usage. What I did, I installed a fresh copy of Windows on my PC. Right now you can see my two hard drives, not two hard drives, one hard drive and two partitions. First partition is only the system one. On the system one is the Epic Games installed. On the local disk E is the Fortnite game. The files for the Fortnite are on E, but the Epic Games launcher is on C. Everything that I use, like Streamlab, G4 Experience, Audacity, Vegas, it's on C. The system, everything I am not using like a system like the games are installed on the local disk E or on the other partition. As I mentioned before, I think I'm using the 1 terabyte HDD hard drive, not the SSD hard drive. The faster one is the slower one, and you could see how the game is reacting very nice and very smoothly on the recommended settings from Epic Games and Fortnite. So again, I'm repeating, I will also lower down my settings in game. I just wanted to show you how the recommended settings from Epics for my configuration, what was the recommended configuration, but I will lower them just a little bit because I don't need high post processing, I don't need high anti-aliasing. I want to have a steady game without any lags. So guys, if you like this video and if it was a helpful one, please hit the like button. If if I helped you just a little bit and clear something for you didn't know, then you can share it with your friends also and help them out. And you know what you have to do, guys? Subscribe if you didn't subscribe. So guys, thanks for watching once again and share the love, guys. Share the love.